Hello again and welcome to another presentation of Brookline High School baseball on Brookline Access Television, as today the Warriors take on the Walpole Rebels here at Parsons Field in Brookline. Alongside Brad Casnett, I'm Nick Bovey. Now Brad, this Brookline baseball team, after starting the season with a 6-1 victory, hasn't done so well in the past few games.
The Warriors coming in today on a 5-game losing streak, but after losing some tough lopsided matchups, their last game out 2 days ago was against Boston Latin, lost that game in extra innings by a 2-1 score. So Warriors getting close to getting back in the win column and hoping they can avenge a loss last week against these same Rebels.
And yes, a 2-1 loss in their last game. That's something to build on. And as you alluded to, the previous game before that, they lost 11-1 to Walpole. So they lost that game, but at least they're familiar with the Rebels.
That's right. And today here at home, they'll be hoping to turn the tables on the Rebels and try to pick up a Bay State Conference win.
So there you have it. We'll have first pitch coming up right after this.
Hard today when he does get the ball, and he's going to take it for over the court, give me your point.
Just about ready for first pitch at Parsons Field. Nick Bovey and Brad Casnett joining you here for Brookline Access Television. And Brad, if you could just go over the starting lineup for Walpole for us.
Coach William Tompkins, his lineup for his Rebels, leading off is the center fielder Mike Rando. He'll be followed by the second baseman Bob Ivets. Shortstop John Adams hits in the 3 spot. Batting cleanup today is third baseman Cam Hanley. Batting fifth is the right fielder Matt Bender. The catcher bats 6th, that is Rick Ordway. Batting 7th, the designated hitter, Robert Ravioli. Connor Moriarty, the left fielder, bats 8th, and rounding out the order is the first baseman, Tom Farrow.
So Walpole coming into today's matchup at a record of 4-1. They'll face Brookline, who has lost their last 5 after winning their first game of the season. Starting pitcher for Brookline is Sam Koenig. And he takes the mound as the teams are ready. And leading off is Mike Rando, the center fielder for Walpole. Number 1 on your scorecard. And the first pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch on the outside. So a nice start there for Koenig. Now the 0-1. Swings at a pitch that pretty much was in the dirt. So now it's 0-2. 0-2 is slapped to third, picked up by the third baseman. Throw across the diamond to first is in time for the first out. So there's one away here. And Brad, if you could just go around the defense for Brookline.
Warriors defense in the outfield from left to right. We've got Irvin Kantardzik, David Crane, and Ben Knopf. Around the infield, that was Scott Cordner, who made the play at third.
First pitch to Bob Ivets is in the dirt. It's 1-0.
Shiraz Mumtaz, the shortstop. Zach Moss playing second, and A.J. Levine at first base. Nate Spielvogel behind the plate.
That pitch runs high, and it's 2-0.
Koenig, of course, mentioned on the mound, the junior.
2-0 pitch. Ground ball to short. That one will go through the infield, and it's a 1-out single for Ivets. He's on first.
First hit of the ball game, and Ivets just put it right in between the shortstop and second baseman.
Next up, the shortstop, John Adams, a very patriotic name. And the pitch. take it on the outside for a strike. So Koenig getting back into it after getting the first out. Had trouble with Ivitz. Had a 2-0 count. And the pitch was slapped back up the middle. But he's ahead here, 0-1. This one's a pop-up behind the plate and behind the netting towards the street out there. That's Kent Street behind the plate. So it's an 0-2 count. Ground ball to third. They will turn the 5-4, and they will not get the 3 on the throw to first. So instead they'll get the lead runner, Ivitz, out at second, now 2 down.
Adams moving up the line made it tough for the Warriors to turn that double play. And kind of a slow roller as well at the corner, so it was going to be real tough to turn that double play, but Adams' speed beating it out.
Next up is the third baseman, Cam Hanley. Throw back to first, not in time. Good move, though, by Koenig. Quick snap throw to first. Koenig leans in, gets his sign, and the pitch is high. That was intentional, though, as the throw comes into second, and he's out. A nice play behind the plate to get the out. A nice throw by Spielvogel. So, a quick inning of work for the Warriors. Score is tied at 0 as we head to the bottom of the first here at Parsons.
So you got this is the batting order, like 1, 2.
And ready to pick things up. Back in the bottom of the first, no score. Now the Warriors at the plate. Leading off is the right fielder, Ben Knopf. He fouls the first pitch towards the right side. So it's 0-1. Pitch a little high. Now the 0-1. That pitch runs high and outside, and it's 1-1. Now the pitch. Slap right behind the plate. Just a little bit under it, and it's 1-2 now.
Knopf doing a good job to make contact. Just go straighten it out. When you see a pitch fouled straight back. That's a good sign that the batter had the timing right on.
1-2 almost gets him in the elbow, but a lay off it, so it's 2-2 now. Here's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Gauguin knocks it down, throws to first, and there is one away now. Mark that 1-3 in the books. So, Brad, if you could just go over Brookline's starting lineup.
We saw Ben Knopf, the right fielder, lead it off. Now it'll be the center fielder, David Crane. The second baseman, Zach Moss, will be up after him in the 3 spot. The cleanup spot is left fielder Irvin Kantardzik. Catcher Nate Spielvogel bats 6th. The third baseman, Scott Cordner, bats 6th. And rounding out the order is the first baseman, A.J. Levine, designated hitter Cooper Lev, and the shortstop, Shiraz Mumtaz.
So it's Crane in the box right now. He fouled the first pitch back, so it's 0-1. Now the pitch. That one's high. 1-1. That pitch is a little too far outside and low, just below the knees. 2-1 the count now. One out here in the bottom of the ninth. Or bottom of the first, excuse me. Got a little ahead of myself.
Yeah, got a ways to go till then.
And there's a strike on the inside. The count evens at 2 now. Two. That one's low, and the count is now full. Gauguin has his sign. And the pitch is too far inside, so it's a 1-out walk to Crane. Nice job working the pitcher. And now that'll bring up the second baseman, Zach Moss.
So just like the Rebels in the top of the first, the Warriors get a runner on board with 1 out.
Fouled right back. That one towards the Rebels dugout. It's interesting seeing in the Rebels dugout how everybody is perched up on top of the bench, kind of trying to avoid the sun, because right now it's shining towards them, so it would probably be in their face.
Beautiful day here, not a cloud in the sky, low 60s.
Oh yeah, absolutely perfect. Little wind blowing in towards center, in from center field towards the plate, so it might wreak havoc on the batters, but as we know here in Brookline, winds can change pretty quickly. It's a very spacious field here. The home of what used to be the Northeastern baseball team, their varsity team. That pitch is high now, and it's 2-1.
And you mentioned this field. It's 342 down the right field line, over 415 out to center. I'm not sure if this is still true, but as of about 5 years ago, this field was the most pitcher-friendly park in all of Division I college baseball.
And that one's fouled right back. 2-2 now. And it's surprising, I mean, you look out towards center, and it's a diamond. It's a point out towards there. So you think that would be quite a ways away for a batter, but yeah, I guess down the lines, it's very complimentary. Now the 2-2 pitch to Moss. Fouled right back, and he's battling nicely. From what it looks like, Gauguin's keeping the pitches high. Brookline's having a hard time leveling out because they have to keep swinging up. A lot of pop fouls behind the plate so far. Now the 2-2. Little check swing, and it nubs foul towards the Warriors dugout. So we'll do it again.
Crane was running on that. Has to retreat to first base with a foul ball.
And with it being 2 strikes against him and 1 out, it's a good idea. Try and break up any kind of double play that might happen. Oh, low pitch, but he gets Moss looking as the umpire calls strike 3, and now there are 2 down.
First strikeout of the ball game for Gogan.
So now that'll bring up the junior left fielder, Irvin Kantarzik. And the pitch almost goes for his head there. He has to duck out of the way. So again, Gogan keeping it high, not giving Brookline much to hit. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1 now. Now the 1-1. Fouled right back. 1-2 now. And again, continuing that theme, it's an undercut, having to swing up, fouling it right back. Thankfully, that's a very high net behind the plate, because there are cars parked behind the plate, and there's also a street right nearby. That one is high and inside. 2-2 the count now. Swing and a miss on a low pitch, and that'll end the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gogan as he gets Moss looking in. Kantarzik swinging. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base that half inning. No score through 1 here at Parsons Field.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
And back to action here in the top of the first. No score between Brookline and Walpole. As Sam Koenig is back on the mound. First pitch is a fly ball deep to center. And Kantarzik is there for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's the first fly ball that we've seen in this game. Not a lot of hitting so far, but that is encouraging for Koenig, as he was able to get the batter to just fly out on a pretty carefree, easy fly ball.
Yep, pretty routine pop up there for Kantarzik.
So that was Cam Hanley who flew out. Right now it is Matt Bender, senior right fielder. He takes a ball. And that one hit him. So not encouraging. After getting the quick out, it's a ball and a hit by batter there. So now there is 1 on with 1 out in the top of the second.
And we've seen pretty good control from Koenig so far today, but that one just crept a little too far inside.
So now that'll bring up the catcher, Rick Ordway. Quick pitch is low, 1-0. And now the pitch. Fouled right back. Nice fluid swing from Ordway there. He's able to push his energy through the bat. But again, undercutting knocks it right back. Foul back, this time low. So now the count is 1-2. That pitch is high now, so count is even at 2. Two-two pitch is actually a throw to first. Not in time. So Koenig has his sign, leans in, and pitch runs high, so it is a full count now at 3-2. Bender, the runner at first. Three-two is fouled straight back, so we'll do it again.
Bender was not running on that pitch.
Might be a sign of respect to Spielvogel behind the plate. And a swing and a miss, and there's strike 3. So Koenig's first strikeout of the game comes at a pretty good point with a runner on first and 1 out, so now 2 down. And that'll bring up the designated hitter for Walpole, Rabioli. And here's a pop-up into center. Crane calls up Knopf, and that will end the inning. So 1 runner left on first on the hit by pitch, but nothing doing, no damage done. No score here at Parsons. We're through an inning and a half.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Ready or not, here I come.
Take time to be a dad today.
Daddy, I'm gonna find you.
Ready to go in the bottom of the second. No score here on BATV between Walpole and Brookline. Ready to begin the bottom of the second with the catcher, Nate Spielvogel. And the pitch. That one's low in the dirt. Gogan had a quick pitch selection and was ready to go. And the 1-0. This one is foul to the right side. Hit off the utility shed behind the dugout, behind Walpole's dugout, and then hit the brick building that's next to it. I wonder how many glasses have been shattered that way. That pitch was low, but swung on and missed. So the count's 1-2 now. That one's low, 2-2 now. Gogan seems content to work fast here in the bottom of the second. And this one's a ground ball to short. Taken by the second baseman, Ivets. He throws to first And there's one away. So now that'll bring up the third baseman, Scott Cordner. First pitch is lined out towards center. Tough play, but caught by Rando on the run as he was running towards right field. So now a quick second out. Gauguin's working into his pace right now as he pitched quickly to Spielvogel, and he gets Gordner out on the first pitch.
Yeah, good solid contact from Cordner, but Rando had a great read on it out in center field and able to make the catch on the run.
And now A.J. Levine, first baseman, steps up to the plate, takes strike one looking. That time Gauguin actually went low. A 0-1 runs high. 1-1 the count. Almost got him in the legs on the 1-1, so now it's 2-1. And now a 3-1 count for the first baseman. The number 7 hitter in the lineup. And the pitch. Fouled straight back. Nice fastball right over the heart of the plate. Levine couldn't catch up to it in time. Now the 3-2. And strike 3 looking on the inside. So a 1-2-3 inning for Gauguin. We have no score here at Parsons Field as we're ready to play the third inning.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Ready or not, here I come.
Take time to be a dad today.
Third inning of work for Sam Koenig. No score. Koenig is doing fairly well so far. Has only allowed 1 hit in the first 2 innings. Now is to the second baseman and the number 2 hitter, Bob Ivets. So now the left fielder, Connor Moriarty, steps up to the plate. The number 8 hitter in the lineup. And the pitch. That one's low. 1-0. There's a strike on the outside. So from what we've been seeing so far, Koenig's been working the strike zone a little more. He's been inviting hitters to hit his pitches, but he's doing a nice job of mixing it up, so Walpole hasn't really been getting all that good of looks so far.
A couple of ground outs, a couple of fly balls.
There's a strike. Count is at 2-2 now. Koenig has 1 strikeout so far, and that was to Rick Ordway, the second out of last inning. And there's strike 3 on a nice curveball on the outside, upper edge of the zone. So 1 away on Koenig's second strikeout of the game.
Looked like Moriarty was trying to be pretty patient at the plate there, but Koenig attacking the strike zone.
Now here's Tom Farrow, the first baseman, and number 9 hitter in the lineup. Takes ball 1 inside. Swing and a miss as he's well ahead of that changeup. It just died in front of the plate. check swing, but it didn't matter because the pitch was in the zone anyway, and it's quickly 1-2 as Koenig feels like he's in the groove right now. 1-2. Ooh, he wanted that one. It's a ball outside. Koenig bent down with his knees, and I'm begging the home plate umpire to give him strike 3 there. But instead, it's 2-2. And a line drive towards right field. That one will drop in for a 1-out single. Picked up by Knopf, and he'll throw it in quickly. So just the second hit of the game, and it comes from the number 9 hitter, Tom Farrow.
After Koenig thought he might have had strike 3, call doesn't go his way, and Farrow makes the most of his second chance at the plate. Drops a little bloop single down the right field line.
And speaking of second chances, it's the top of the lineup now with Mike Rando. 0 for 1 with a ground out to third to start off the game. That pitch is high, so it's 1-0. Now the 1-0. Takes a strike on the outside. Koenig's been getting that outside corner pretty frequently, so he'd be pretty wise to keep hitting that spot. And Rando takes a strike over the plate, so now it's 1-2. That pitch is a little bit too high, and now the count is at 2-2. Too far outside. Rando was thinking about it, but didn't bite. He was wise to do so. Spielvogel had to almost dive to his right to catch the ball, save Farrow from going to second. So now the 3-2. Swing and a miss on a low pitch. Nice changeup down and inside, and there are 2 down.
Second strikeout of the inning for Koenig, third of the game.
Could have been third of the inning if he had gotten that call to go for him against Farrow, but instead the very next pitch was hit for a single. So now that'll bring up the second baseman, Bob Ivets. Throw to first, not in time. Ivets is 1 for 1 with a single back in the first. Fakes a bunt to draw the third baseman, Cordner, in, but he will be wise to lay off, take the pitch high. Now 2-0. The wind has shifted slightly. Now it's blowing towards left field. That might actually benefit Koenig here with the left-handed batter. But instead he's not giving Ivets much to hit. 3 pitches, all high, all taken for balls so far.
This is the first time in a few batters that we've seen Koenig struggling to find the strike zone. He's really zeroed in the last few batters.
There's a strike inside. That's his spot that he was getting at before. And you're right, Brad, he was cruising. Striking out 3 of his last 5 batters. And now the pitch is hit towards left field. That one will drop in front of Kantarzik. Runner will have to hold at second, as it looked like Kantarzik was going to catch it. But instead he opted to play safe and just let it drop instead of trying to dive and have it roll away from him.
Yeah, definitely took the safe play there, because if you miss that chance at a catch and the ball gets behind you here in this spacious outfield, it could keep rolling for a while and could see a runner come around to score in that situation.
So the coach will come out to talk to Koenig, get him through this. This is the first time either team has had a runner in scoring position. We're in the top of the third, but it is 2 outs for Koenig. He was cruising, and he did have 2 strikes on Ivets. Ivets is now 2 for 2 with 2 singles. So now John Adams will step up to the plate. He hit into a fielder's choice back in the first inning. That pitch is high, but for a strike on the outside corner. So Adams hit into the fielder's choice and then was thrown out at second to end the first. And there's a strike looking on the outside, so quickly 0-2 in favor of Koenig.
It looks like Koenig's really been effective getting that changeup to drop into the strike zone. It looks high at first, but then drops right down across the plate.
Pitcher's set and the pitch. That one is low. Runners will stay where they are. It's Ivets at first and Farrow at second. Both reaching on singles. And now the 1-2 pitch. Fake throw to second. No one's covering, so no throw. Now the 1-2. Fouled back, and that one will go towards the batting cage behind home plate. Two on, 2 out here in the top of the third. And the pitch is a ground ball to short. Flipped to second by Mumtaz. Gets the out, and that'll end the inning and the threat. So Walpole gets 2 hits in the inning, but they strand both on base. No score through 2.5.
Ready or not, here I come.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Ready to start the bottom of the third. No score between Brookline and Walpole. As it's the third inning of work for Mike Gauguin. And he's been cruising so far. He's gotten 3 strikeouts. He's allowed 1 over the minimum through 2. First pitch runs high. This is the designated hitter, Cooper Lev. So Brookline will get the chance to finally bat around through their lineup this inning. Lev takes a strike outside. Here's a line drive into center field, and that will drop for a hit as Rando picks it up and throws it back in. That is Brookline's first hit of the game. It'll come with no outs in the top of the third.
Good solid base knock by Lev, and timely to get aboard as the leadoff batter as the Warriors try to get something going here in the third inning.
Now here's the number 9 hitter, Shiraz Mumtaz, the shortstop. First pitch on the way. Fakes the bunt. It runs high. He pulls away. And what do you think, Brad? Would it be smart to stick with the bunt here? Get that runner in scoring position?
Well, in a scoreless game, you'd like to get that first run on the board. We'll see what the coach, Joe Campagna, thinks of what he has for speed on the base paths and how Mumtaz is at getting the bunt down. But as the number 9 hitter in the lineup, you'd think that that's something that Mumtaz would be called upon to do now and again.
So this is an ideal situation for Brookline to have the number 9 hitter bunt the number 8 hitter to second. 2-0 now. Mumtaz pulls off the bunt this time. He was going to be swinging, and that's wise because you don't want to waste the opportunity of a 3-0 count, which is what he has now. It seems like Gauguin was having difficulty getting a pitch in the strike zone with the threat of a bunt coming. So now the 3-0. Foul back towards Walpole's dugout. I don't know about you, but I don't really like the idea of swinging on a 3-0 count. Take the pitch, even if it is a strike.
Yeah, certainly in this situation where you had Mumtaz thinking about bunting earlier, that was certainly a surprise to see him swinging away at a 3-0 pitch.
It could have been bad if he grounded into a double play. 2 quick outs just like that, nobody on. Quick throw back to first. So he was lucky that it did go foul. But with the hitter's count now, he'll probably be getting the green light. The 3-1 to Mumtaz. He's going to bunt, and he gets under it, pops it right back. So there goes the bunt opportunity. Nice strategy there. It looked like he was bunting. You always want to bunt down into the ground when that happens. You want to kind of deaden the ball. You don't want to pop it. But it was almost bad technique in the fact that he did pop it up behind the plate. So now the 3-2 pitch to Mumtaz. Swing and a miss. Fastball right over the plate. And there's the first out. So Mumtaz battled a little bit, but he wasn't able to move that runner to second.
Yeah, Gauguin winning that long battle.
So now here's Ben Knopf, the leadoff hitter. Swing and a miss on a high pitch. He grounded back to the pitcher back in the first.
So that was the 4th strikeout for Gauguin as he completes the first go-round through the Warriors' batting order.
4 strikeouts through 9 hitters, not bad. Here's a line drive dropping into left field, That's going to fall in. Runner will move back to second, so now first and second with 1 out, and the Warriors are threatening to push a run across.
And this is the first time the Warriors have had a runner in scoring position. Comes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd.
So now David Crane will step up. He's the first man to reach base as he walked back in the first. The Warriors getting their first 2 hits of the ballgame in this half inning. Gauguin looked like he was ready, but then stepped off the rubber. He was definitely cruising through the first go-around through the lineup, but now that he's given up a couple of hits, he seems to be taking his time a little more. Pitch. That one's low. Throw back to first very quickly. Caught everybody by surprise, not including Cooper Lev, who is on second, but he dove back in time.
Yeah, Lev with a big lead, and Ordway noticed that, making the throw through. It had Lev scrambling back to second.
So 1-0 to Crane. And again, Gauguin steps off the rubber. And the pitch. Ground ball foul right in front of the plate. So it's even at 1 now. It's Cooper Lev at second, Ben Knopf at first, with one out in the bottom of the third. Now the pitch. That one's low. Lev was considering stealing third, but Ordway was able to pick up the ball quickly enough in order to keep the runners at their bases. So now a 2-1 pitch to David Crane, and again Gogan steps off the rubber. Part of the purpose of pitching is to disrupt the timing of the hitter, but this is getting a little crazy as Gogan seems like he's ready and then opts against the pitch at the last second. Strike on the inside taken by Crane. So now it is 2-2.
And Gogan's pace, quite a contrast to Koenig, who's really been moving up on the mound, making those pitches quickly.
But even Gogan was moving fast in the second inning, and now in the third he is really taking his time. 2-2 is a ground ball back to Gogan. He'll get the throw at second. Quick throw back to third, not in time. Gogan was considering what to do. He ended up not throwing for the lead runner, surprisingly, instead getting the out at second. So now runners at third and first with two down.
Yeah, Gogan, I guess wasn't sure he was going to be able to get Lev over at third base. Throw went back down there alertly after it looked like Lev was thinking about going for home in case that throw got away, but Lev able to get back in time, and now he's the first base runner to reach third base for either side today.
So Zach Moss will step up to the plate. He was the first strikeout victim of the game. He grounds one foul off of Ordway, 0-1. And yes, you want to be aggressive when you're on the base pass, but you also have to be very conscientious. You have to be the most alert person on the field when you're on third base because you're only 90 feet away from home. And getting an out at third base is the absolute worst situation possible for any player.
Good for Lev, though, to think about making that run for home in case the throw got away, and probably good to just to force that throw down to third, because if that throw gets away, then Lev can just cruise on home.
Exactly.
So as long as you don't make the mistake and get caught too far off the bag.
Here's a line drive, caught on the fly by Ivets. It looked like it was going to drop in, but instead it's out number 3. Brookline gets a couple of hits. They leave a runner in scoring position at third. Nothing doing, though. We are scoreless through 3 here on Brookline Access TV.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet.
50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me. What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates.
Plates?
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
Back at Parsons Field, it has been a pitcher's duel so far. Still scoreless between the Rebels of Walpole and the Warriors of Brookline. First pitch of the top of the 4th inning is a called strike to Cam Hanley, the third baseman for the Rebels, cleanup hitter. That changeup misses to even the count at 1-1. Sam Koenig back on the hill for his 4th inning of work for the Warriors. The 1-1. High fly ball, but drifting foul. That will get out of play. Down the third base side.
Very close to hitting a Honda Odyssey van, too. But it landed just a couple feet behind it. Always runs the risk of attending a high school baseball game.
Yeah, some of these cars down the left field line are in a treacherous position. 1-2 pitch. This one in the air, shallow center field, and making the catch is Shiraz Mumtaz. 3 Warriors converged, and it was Mumtaz, the shortstop, that came up with it.
Yes, that was very impressive. A nice dive by Mumtaz, but that's not his ball. There was a lack of communication between short, second, and center field, and it ended up being the shortstop that dove to make the play. Very impressive nonetheless.
So 1 out now. And Matt Bender looks at ball 1. Bender, the right fielder, senior for Walpole, was hit by a pitch his first at bat, and is now ahead in the count 2-0. Inside nearly was hit again with that pitch, and now Bender ahead in the count 3-0. Pitch from Koenig is low, ball 4. So that's the first walk of the game issued by Koenig. And the Rebels have a runner aboard with 1 out.
Seemed like Koenig really didn't want to pitch to Bender. And he hit him with the second pitch of the at-bat the first time around. So trying to avoid giving up a hit to him.
First pitch to Rick Ordway is high for ball 1. Koenig's seemed to have pretty good command of the strike zone most of the afternoon, except when he's pitching to Bender. Throw over to first base, and Bender back in time. Ordway at the plate, the senior catcher, struck out his first at bat. One of 3 strikeout victims so far for Koenig. Pitch is low. Ball 2, and that's 6 straight balls now thrown by Koenig. Two-0 pitch. Well, that catches the strike zone. And the count is 2-1.
It's a little surprising. That seemed quite a bit low. But sometimes you need that benefit from the umpire to get things going and start throwing strikes.
2-1 pitch, swung on, grounded towards the shortstop. Mumtaz can't get to it, and it's into left field for a base hit.
A nice attempt by Mumtaz, but it seemed like he had his glove turned around the wrong way, and he tried to stop it backhanded. It's going to be tough when you're a right-handed shortstop to dive to your right and try and make a stop, but it just squeezed under him.
Mumtaz was playing a little closer to second base with that runner on first, and that cost him being able to make it over to that ball. So a 1-out single from Ordway puts runners on first and second for Robert Rabioli, who looks at ball 1. Rabioli, a lefty, the designated hitter, a junior. Flew out to center field in his first at-bat. The 1-0 catches the strike zone, and it's now 1-1.
So far, the umpire has had a very wide strike zone, mostly on the umpire's right side, so in towards Rabioli right now. Definitely high and low on the right side of the plate.
Koenig looks the runner's back, but no throw. Bender on second, Ordway on first. The 1-1 fouled straight back into the backstop. And Koenig will go ahead in the count 1-2. Koenig gets the sign. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. third strikeout of the day for Sam Koenig, and there's 2 outs now in the top of the 4th.
So very good job there of getting the benefit of the strikeout. And that's kind of surprising, seeing as how the inning has been going for Koenig so far.
Ball to Connor Moriarty, junior left fielder. Moriarty struck out looking his first at-bat in the 3rd inning. Ball high, and it's 2-0 to Moriarty.
That was probably Koenig's most wild pitch so far of the game, as Spielvogel had to reach very high to make the catch there.
Two-0 pitch, fouled back into the backstop, and it's 2-1.
So with runners on first and second, Walpole would probably be better off taking here, unless it's a surefire strike. But don't even try and attempt on anything high. You could kind of see that strategy with Rabioli, the previous batter, going out looking.
Spielvogel out for a brief chat with Koenig, but now back behind the plate. Bender started running on that last pitch, but stopped and eventually retreated. It was a foul ball anyways, as now Koenig looks back. Bender at second base.
Spielvogel might have told Koenig, keep an eye on that runner at second. He keeps creeping.
Fouled back into the backstop once again, so that evens the count at 2-2 with 2 outs.
Bender not afraid to run on any kind of motion. That's going to happen with 2 outs. As the lead runner, you're going on any kind of contact, so try and get a jump.
Again, another look back, but no throw. Koenig set to deliver the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Fantastic changeup there again. That's been working for Koenig, and it worked right there.
So with 2 runners aboard, Sam Koenig strikes out the next 2 batters, and in the middle of the 4th inning, we are still scoreless between Walpole and Brookline. This is Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
Back at Parsons Field, it has been a pitcher's duel so far. Still scoreless between the Rebels of Walpole and the Warriors of Brookline. First pitch of the top of the 4th inning is a called strike to Cam Hanley. The third baseman for the Rebels, cleanup hitter. That changeup misses to even the count at 1-1. Sam Koenig back on the hill for his 4th inning of work for the Warriors. The 1-1. High fly ball, but drifting foul. That will get out of play. Down the third base side.
Very close to hitting a Honda Odyssey van, too. But it landed just a couple feet behind it. Always runs the risk of attending a high school baseball game.
Yeah, some of these cars down the left field line are in a treacherous position. 1-2 pitch. This one in the air, shallow center field, and making the catch is Shiraz Mumtaz. 3 Warriors converged, and it was Mumtaz, the shortstop, that came up with it.
Yes, that was very impressive. A nice dive by Mumtaz, but that's not his ball. There was a lack of communication between short, second, and center field, and it ended up being the shortstop that dove to make the play. Very impressive nonetheless.
So 1 out now. And Matt Bender looks at ball one. Bender, the right fielder, senior for Walpole, was hit by a pitch his first at bat, and is now heading the count 2-0. Inside nearly was hit again with that pitch, and now Bender heading the count 3-0. The pitch from Koenig is low, ball 4. So that's the first walk of the game issued by Koenig, and the Rebels have a runner aboard with 1 out.
Seemed like Koenig really didn't want to pitch to Bender. And he hit him with the second pitch of the at-bat the first time around. So, trying to avoid giving up a hit to him.
First pitch to Rick Ordway is high for ball 1. Koenig's seemed to have pretty good command of the strike zone most of the afternoon, except when he's pitching to Bender. Throw over to first base, and Bender back in time. Ordway at the plate, the senior catcher, struck out his first at bat. One of 3 strikeout victims so far for Koenig. Pitch is low. Ball 2, and that's 6 straight balls now thrown by Koenig. Two-0 pitch. Well, that catches the strike zone. And the count is 2-1.
It's a little surprising. That seemed quite a bit low. But sometimes you need that benefit from the umpire to get things going and start throwing strikes.
2-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded towards the shortstop. Mumtaz can't get to it, and it's into left field for a base hit.
A nice attempt by Mumtaz, but it seemed like he had his glove turned around the wrong way, and he tried to stop it backhanded. It's going to be tough when you're a right-handed shortstop to dive to your right and try and make a stop, but it just squeezed under him.
Mumtaz was playing a little closer to second base with that runner on first, and that cost him being able to make it over to that ball. So a 1-out single from Ordway puts runners on first and second for Robert Rabioli, who looks at ball 1. Rabioli, a lefty. The designated hitter, a junior. Flew out to center field in his first at-bat. The 1-0 catches the strike zone, and it's now 1-1.
So far, the umpire has had a very wide strike zone, mostly on the umpire's right side, so in towards Rabioli right now. Definitely high and low on the right side of the plate.
Koenig looks the runner's back, but no throw. Bender on second, Ordway on first. The 1-1 fouled straight back into the backstop. And Koenig will go ahead in the count 1-2. Koenig gets the sign. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. Third strikeout of the day for Sam Koenig, and there's 2 outs now in the top of the 4th.
So very good job there of getting the benefit of the strikeout. And that's kind of surprising, seeing as how the inning has been going for Koenig so far.
Ball to Connor Moriarty, junior left fielder. Moriarty struck out looking his first at-bat in the 3rd inning. Ball high, and it's 2-0 to Moriarty.
That was probably Koenig's most wild pitch so far of the game, as Spielvogel had to reach very high to make the catch there.
Two-0 pitch. Fouled back into the backstop, and it's 2-1.
So with runners on first and second, Walpole would probably be better off taking here unless it's a surefire strike. But don't even try and attempt on anything high. You could kind of see that strategy with Rabioli, the previous batter, going out looking.
Spielvogel out for a brief chat with Koenig, but now back behind the plate. Bender started running on that last pitch, but stopped and eventually retreated. It was a foul ball anyways, as now Koenig looks back. Bender at second base.
Spielvogel might have told Koenig, keep an eye on that runner at second. He keeps creeping.
Fouled back into the backstop once again, so that evens the count at 2-2 with 2 outs.
Bender not afraid to run on any kind of motion. That's going to happen with 2 outs. As the lead runner, you're going on any kind of contact, so try and get a jump.
Again, another look back, but no throw. Koenig set to deliver the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Fantastic change up there again. That's been working for Koenig, and it worked right there.
So with 2 runners aboard, Sam Koenig strikes out the next 2 batters, and in the middle of the 4th inning, we are still scoreless between Walpole and Brookline. This is Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
I don't know how they've been having problems so far this season. It seems like
Looked good today.
Koenig is doing fantastic.
Yeah. Takes ball 2. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 4th. And there's ball 3. So Spielvogel ahead in the count 3-0. Goggin has only walked 1 batter so far today, and that was the 2nd batter of the ball game back in the 1st inning. 3-0 pitch, and there's ball 4. May have even hit Spielvogel as he was jumping out of the way, but I think it was just a walk.
Yep, that's what it seemed like. But either way, that is a great job by Spielvogel of not even attempting to take a swing, because as we saw the last inning, whenever Goggin gets anybody on base, the pace slows down, his control kind of goes away. So Brookline has to keep doing that. Just get men on first and see what happens.
Warriors had runners at the corners in the last inning. Let's see what they can do here with a runner on first and 1 out. Scott Cordner at the plate. Senior 3rd baseman. Had a line drive out to center field in his first at bat, and looks at ball 1 high. As you mentioned, Goggin Pace really slowing down on the mound there with a runner on base. 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled straight back into the backstop.
It looked like Gauguin was going to step off the mound again, but instead stuck with it.
And Gauguin a lefty, so he's got that view of the runner at first base. Again, steps off.
So Spielvogel isn't taking much beyond 2 or 3 steps off the first base bag. That's going to happen with a left-handed pitcher, as you were alluding to, Brad.
Pitch is grounded over to short, could be 2. Got the out at second, on to first. And the 6-4-3 double play ends the inning. So at the end of 4 innings, still no score between the Warriors and the Rebels. This is Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Still scoreless as we move on to the 5th inning between Brookline and Walpole. Tom Farrow will lead things off for the Rebels in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch from Sam Koenig, swung on, driving into center field. Underneath it is Crane to make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Koenig.
You always like it when that happens, but as we've seen, that doesn't always mean it'll be a quick inning.
Back to the top of the order and Mike Rando. Looks at strike 1. Rando 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a strikeout. That pitch was in the dirt, 1-1.
I don't even know if that was in the dirt. It might have hit the edge of the grass. That was several feet in front of the plate. That might have slipped out of Koenig's hand.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. This game, marked contrast so far to what we saw the last time these two teams got together a week ago. As this is a slow bouncer back to the pitcher, on to first for the out. An 11-1 win for Walpole. The last time these teams met, I was in Walpole 1 week ago, but today we're scoreless headed into the 5th inning.
And in that game, Cam Hanley had 3 hits with 2 home runs and 6 RBI. So a very impressive game for him.
Ball is low to Bob Ivets. Now the 1-0 swung on, driven into center field. That'll drop for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Ivets. It's his 3rd hit of the bait. Looks at the ball. 2-1. Adams, a senior shortstop. Very veteran team all around for the Rebels. The entire roster, as another throw goes over to first base. Rebels' entire roster is juniors and seniors on the varsity. Runner goes, pitch is high fly ball. Mumtaz underneath, can't make the catch. And a run will come around to score. And the Walpole Rebels take a 1-0 lead.
And again, a big miscommunication out in front of the bag at second. I'm not sure who yelled off Mumtaz. It was either Kantarzik in left or Crane in center. Might have even actually been both of them, as somebody called off Mumtaz, and Mumtaz stuck with it because it was his ball. It didn't go deep enough for an outfielder to make the play, and Mumtaz kind of got a little spooked and dropped the ball. But the error will go to him.
Runner goes here. And into third base with a stolen base is John Adams, as Cam Hanley at the plate takes ball one. That run was only able to come around and score all the way from first because there were 2 outs, so Ivets was going on contact from first base, and the high fly ball as this one is driven deep to right field off the bat of Hanley. Knopf underneath it to make the catch and end the inning, but not before the Rebels push an unearned run across the plate. And in the middle of the 5th inning, Walpole leading.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
We move to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Walpole now on top 1-0. Mike Goggin pitching with the lead for the first time today. And his first pitch to A.J. Levine. Grounded to second base. And 1 down.
So just like with Koenig, back in the top half of the inning, 1 pitch, 1 out. But inning wasn't exactly easy for Koenig. Not his fault. He pitched well enough to get out of it. And he still doesn't have any earned runs to his credit.
First pitch to Cooper Lev is inside for ball 1. Lev, the sophomore, designated hitter. 1 for 1 with a single, coming back in the 3rd inning. Another low pitch, so it's 2-0. Is over the plate. Strike 1. Counts 2-1 now. Pitch is high. Now Lev ahead in the count, 3-1.
Lev had the first single for Brookline back in the 3rd. He doesn't need to do as much this half inning. Just get on base. With the 3-1 count, he might take.
He is indeed taking, and it's ball 4. 3rd walk of the day issued by Goggin. And Lev aboard for the 2nd time today. So the Warriors have a runner on first with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
As we've seen from Goggin, a walk is as good as a hit. Just to get on base, slow down the pace, kind of wreak havoc with his control.
First pitch swinging and missing is Shiraz Mumtaz. Mumtaz a chance here to atone for that error at shortstop.
And that's got to be weighing heavily on his mind to make some redemption here.
Check on the runner at first and Lev back safely. Mumtaz struck out his first at bat in the 3rd inning. Senior for the Warriors. Oh, 1. Over the plate for strike 2. And Mumtaz quickly in an 0-2 hole.
A little bit high, kind of near his elbows, maybe a little bit over that. But both pitchers have been getting that call, especially on the outside half of the plate.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Mumtaz goes down swinging. It's the 5th strikeout of the day for Goggin. And the first strikeout for Goggin since Mumtaz's last at bat in the 3rd inning. So after getting 4 strikeouts the first time through the order, Goggin only gets 1 on the second go-round. So back to the top of the order, Ben Knopf, first pitch swinging, grounded slowly back to the pitcher, turns and throws to first in time for the out. So no runs, no hits, no errors. The Warriors get a walk but leave that runner aboard. And at the end of 5 innings, Walpole leads it 1-0. This is Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
What does it take to start something? A little time. A little exercise. A little laugh. A little adventure. A little help. That's all it takes to make a big impact.
As he always talks about, he had people in his life that really helped him out, and he wants to be that person in my life.
Just like he is, I was like that at 14. I know exactly what it means to be a 14-year-old guy.
I think that's why we have a good relationship.
It's fun and cool and nice.
You get to see like how personality develops.
Our friendship is good.
At Big Brothers Big Sisters, a little bit of your support can go a long way towards making matches like these happen. Start something today at bigbrothersbigsisters.org/start something.
Back at Parsons Field, on to the 6th inning as the Walpole Rebels looking to add to a 1-0 lead. They've got the 5, 6, 7 batters in the order drew up this inning: Bender, Ordway, and Ravioli. First pitch to Matt Bender misses for ball 1. Sam Koenig back out on the mound for his 6th inning of work. Pitch is in the dirt, and it's 2-0. Bender has been hit and walked so far today, so still without an official at bat, as there's strike 1. And the count is 2-1. Bender really seems to be the only batter that Koenig has really had trouble finding the plate against, as this ball's inside 3-1. That walk back in the 4th inning was on 4 pitches. So now Bender ahead in the count. The 3-1 pitch is high, ball 4. Second walk of the day given up by Koenig, and both have been to Bender.
So from what it seems like, Koenig really is trying to avoid that number 5 hitter. Hitting him by the pitch, giving up 2 walks to him. He really hasn't tried to give him anything good to hit.
So the Rebels get the leadoff runner aboard for the first time today. And the first pitch to Rick Ordway misses for ball 1. Ordway, senior catcher, 1 for 1 with a strikeout in the 2nd and a single in the 4th. Check on the runner at first, and Bender back, diving in safely. This one in the air to center field. Crane on the run, and it will be Kantarczyk, the left fielder, who makes the catch. Bender retreats to first base on the fly ball out to left field.
Very, very deep towards the track in left field. It looked like it was carrying pretty well, so that's why Bender gave it a good chase and didn't tag up. It almost cost him, but he was able to get back to first safely.
First pitch swinging is Ravioli. He grounds it to second, and the throw over to first for the out. So now 2 down as Bender moves up to second base. And that brings up Connor Moriarty.
A change of pace, a quick second out that time on one pitch.
Moriarty 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Koenig steps off, fakes a throw back to second, but Bender back and no throw. Another fake throw to second.
Koenig is a little concerned with Bender at second. Nobody behind him, even though there are 2 out.
Pitch to the plate is low.
The important thing, though, is he can't be concerned about the runner. He just has to worry about the out that's at the plate, because not much he can do unless he somehow throws out the runner at second.
Especially with 2 outs. Just deal with the batter at the plate and nothing else to worry about. This one is high. And again, Bender dancing off that base.
Spielvogel considered throwing to second, but again, a smart play. If you have to throw to third, don't worry about trying to get him out at second.
2-0 catches the plate for strike 1.
And I think that is the umpire giving the signal to the batter. Move things along here. Don't keep taking pitches. I'm going to try and take the bat off your shoulders for you.
Koenig again steps off. Bender a little closer to the bag that time. Two-1, big swing and a miss, and the count is even. Again, Bender made it almost halfway down to third, but retreated as this pitch misses and the count goes full. So now you'd imagine Bender will certainly be off with the pitch with a full count.
Very surprising that that one wasn't called strike 3, because that was almost the same spot as the first strike called.
Payoff pitch. Strike 3, swing and a miss. And it's the 6th strikeout of the day for Sam Koenig to leave a runner stranded at second base for the Rebels. In the middle of the 6th inning, Walpole leads Brookline 1-0. This is Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
Packers.
Viking.
Packers.
Viking.
Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
On to the bottom of the 6th inning. Walpole leading Brookline 1-0. Mike Goggin back on the hill for the Rebels. Goggin has allowed just 2 hits, 3 walks through his first 5 innings of work, has struck out 5. And the first pitch to David Crane misses for ball 1. One-0 is low for ball 2. Crane walked in the first inning and reached on a fielder's choice in the third, so he's 0 for 1. Two-0, catches the plate, and it's 2-1. This one fouled back at the plate. Even the count at 2-2 on Crane. Sophomore playing center field today. And this one looks like it got Crane in the helmet.
Right on the back of the helmet. And he whipped off his helmet as quickly as he could. Kind of, I guess, out of shock that the fact that it did hit him, because he turned away from it. Almost gives the illusion that the ball knocked it off. And it fooled the umpire, because the umpire thought it might have hit the bat as he spun around. But no, that definitely got flush with the helmet.
Looks like Crane is okay. Stayed on his feet and able to walk down to first, no problem. So leadoff runner aboard, leadoff batter. Is now a runner. He's aboard for the Warriors. And it brings up Zach Moss.
I'm assuming that stings a little bit. But, hey, he's on first base now. And we'll see if the Warriors can do something with it.
First pitch to Moss misses. Moss 0 for 2. Struck out in the first inning. This ball is low. Another ball, and it's 2-0. Pitch grounded up towards third base. Throw over to first is in time. So Moss grounds out, but that'll move the runner up into scoring position with 1 out.
Very strong throw by Hanley. He almost overthrew the bag. Opted not to throw to second. And that's probably a matter of comfort, just to make sure that he had the ball in his glove and was able to transfer it quickly enough. An out is an out, even if the runner moves to second.
So now Irvin Kantarczyk at the plate. Kantarczyk, the Warriors' cleanup hitter. First pitch swinging. And it's 0-1. Kantarczyk 0 for 2. Struck out in the first inning. Junior been playing in left field today. Pitch from Goggin. Swung on and grounded up towards the shortstop. And he can do nothing with it. As both the shortstop Adams and third baseman Hanley were headed over to make a play on that ball. Adams got it and wanted to throw over to third to get the lead runner, but the third baseman was standing right next to him and no one was covering the bag. So Kantarczyk reaches, Crane safe at third, and the Warriors have runners in the corners with 1 out.
That's pretty smart play by Adams, smart baseball play. He could have forced the throw at first, but then he might have thrown it away. Instead, this way, you're preserving the double play situation.
So now here's Nate Spielvogel. He takes ball 1. Spielvogel 0 for 1 with a walk. We actually saw Spielvogel before he had to go up and take his bat warming up down the line, so we may see him move from behind the plate to the mound later on in this one. The swing and a miss there evens the count at 1-1. Walpole also has a reliever warming up down there sideline as both starters working into the 6th inning. The 1-1 pitch popped up behind the plate. This will get behind the backstop.
2 mighty big swings by Spielvogel. But in this situation, even a little flare single or anything out to the outfield for that matter will score the run. So no need to give it a gargantuan swing. Just get it out of the infield.
Runners at the corners, 1 out. The 1-2 pitch swung on, grounded up towards second base. The second baseman has it on to first for the out, but the run scores. And this game is all tied up at 1 as David Crane comes in from third to score on the RBI groundout from Nate Spielvogel.
So in that instance, he didn't even need to hit it out of the infield. He just hit it to the opposite way. and pretty obvious where the play should have been there. It ended up being the throw to first. So another runner in scoring position, and the run comes across. Great small ball there by Brookline.
So now 2 out. First pitch to Scott Cordner is fouled back into the backstop. Runner on second base now is Kentarczyk advanced. Cordner 0 for 2 today. Senior third baseman. 0-1 pitch swung on, fouled back again. And Cordner in an 0-2 hole.
Now it'd be very nice to bring in that run from second. And that is, again, weighing heavily on Cordner's mind. But he can't give it up here to Gogan because Gogan's going to be struggling as much as he is to get the hit. Gogan's going to be trying to get the K here.
Runner goes. The pitch is swung on, grounded over towards third base. Third baseman has it. The throw is in time. It had Farah reaching off the bag, but able to get the foot back over there for the out. So the side is retired, but not before Brookline pushes a run across to tie the game. At the end of 6 innings, it is 1-1 between the Warriors and the Rebels. You're watching Brookline High School baseball on BATV.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
On to the 7th inning at Parsons Field, all tied up 1-1 between the Rebels of Walpole and the Warriors of Brookline. Sam Koenig back out on the mound. First pitch is a strike to Tom Farrow. Oh, 1 pitch in the dirt. Evens the count at 1-1. Koenig, through 6 innings, has given up 5 hits, walked 2, 6 strikeouts. 1-1 misses, and it's 2-1. Farrow, senior first baseman, is 1 for 2 today, singled back in the 3rd inning. 2-1 pitch is high once again, and Farrow had in the count 3-1.
It's going to be very important to get the leadoff man out here because you have Ivets waiting in the 3rd spot.
And there's ball 4, so Farrow will take the walk. It's the 3rd walk of the day issued by Koenig. The other 2 are both to Matt Bender.
So as important as it was to get that first out, this next out, or to get the first out here, is going to be even more important. Maybe even try and get a double play because you don't want anybody to be on base with Ivets coming up. He's on deck, and he's 3 for 3 so far.
2nd straight inning that Koenig has led off with a leadoff walk. Although Bender did not come around to score in the last inning. Now Mike Rando, first pitch swinging ground ball past the dive of the 3rd baseman. There's a base hit. So the Rebels have runners on 1st and 2nd with nobody out. And stepping to the plate now is going to be Bob Ivets.
Maybe I jinxed it by talking about it. But a nice play by Cordner. Even if he did come up with the ball there, I don't even know if he would have an attempt because runner would have already been hitting 2nd by the time he popped up, and he would have struggled to get the throw to 1st in time.
So Ivets 3 for 3, 3 singles. First pitch, swing and fouls one off the left side.
Kind of surprising to see Cordner running in on the pitch. Normally in this situation with 2 on and no out, yes, you would see a bunt, especially in a tie game. But with Ivets hitting so well, he's not going to be bunting here. He's going to be given the instruction to swing away.
0-1 pitch, swinging and fouling it back once again. So Ivets in an 0-2 hole.
Even though Ivets is a left-handed hitter, if he were to slap it the opposite way, that would be another surefire hit. Maybe even score the run. So Cordner should try and not stray away too far from third.
Strike 3 called. So Ivets is retired on 3 pitches. And a big strikeout for Koenig, able to set down Ivets for the first time this afternoon.
It was a late call by the umpire on strike 3, and Ivets gave him a almost comically slow double take there, as he thought for sure that was ball 1.
7th strikeout of the day for Koenig, as John Adams fouls the first one back into the backstop. Adams has grounded into 2 fielders' choices and reached base on an error. That was the error that allowed the Rebels' only run to score, as this pitch is low. And count is 1-1. 1 out, runners on first and second. In a tie ball game. This pitch is fouled back over the backstop. And it's 1-2.
So it's going to be a force out at any base here. And Koenig should keep going with what he's doing. Keep it low. You're going to want the batter to hit it on the ground to any side.
This one a line drive out into center field. Making the catch is Crane. And gets the ball back in to keep the runners from going anywhere.
And that was another low pitch. Koenig wasn't missing his spot there. It's just Adams adjusted, was able to slap it out towards center, and a nice strong throw by Crane holds the runner at second. It was kind of a frozen rope back to short.
And this may do it for Sam Koenig. Warriors coach Joe Campagna out to the mound, and that will be the day, on the mound at least, for Sam Koenig, as it looks like Irvin Kantarczyk is going to come in from left field to take over on the mound. What an outing for Koenig, though. Going 6 2/3 innings. Scattering 6 hits, all singles. 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 hit batsman, and no earned runs, though he is responsible for the runners now on first and second. So we'll take a break while Kantarczyk warms up and come back in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 1-1, Brookline and Walpole. This is Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Back at Parsons Field, bottom of the 7th inning. Rebels have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And the first pitch from Irvin Kantarczyk catches the plate for strike 1 on Cam Hanley. Kantarczyk coming in from left field to take over on the mound while Sam Koenig switched spots with him. So Koenig's out in left now.
So kind of surprising, seeing as how Koenig has had a fantastic game, but I'm assuming they're going with the matchup here.
As this one popped up, Cordner under it makes the catch. So the move pays off for Coach Joe Campagna. And at the end of 7 innings, or the middle of the 7th rather, 7th inning stretch time at Parsons Field. It's all tied up 1-1 between the Warriors and the Rebels. You're watching Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Bottom of the 7th inning, all tied up 1-1 between Brookline and Walpole. And it'll be the bottom third of the order for the Warriors coming up against Mike Goggin, back out there for his 7th inning of work. He's given up 3 hits, 1 run through the first 6 innings. A.J. Levine will lead things off for the Warriors. Looks at strike 1. Goggin has 5 strikeouts. Has walked 3. Looks at strike 2. Levine at the plate. Levine 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled back as Levine reached down to stay alive, able to foul that one off. Levine, senior first baseman. Fouls back another one.
And that one looked like it got the umpire on the way back, so the umpire's going to trot out a little bit, personally hand the ball to Goggin.
So with Cantarza coming in to retire the last batter of the 7th inning, it closed the book on Sam Koenig, and he does go 6 2/3 without giving up an earned run. The 1 run that Walpole has on the board was unearned. So, fantastic outing for Sam Koenig today.
The official line is 6 2/3, 6 hits, 1 run, none earned, 3 walks, 7 Ks, and 1 hit batsman.
And all those hits were singles, too. No extra base hits given up by Koenig. Strike 3 called on Levine. It's a 6th strikeout of the day for Goggin, as he has had an excellent day on the hill as well. A real pitcher's duel here, which, as we noted, was in contrast to the 11-1 Rebels win when these teams met in Walpole a week ago. First pitch swing, Cooper Lev sends this one high in the air to center field, but Rando is under it to make the catch. And there's 2 down now in the bottom of the 7th.
Brookline's been getting some pop to their hits out towards the outfield. That one died, though. Not much wind blowing in from center right now, but a pretty easy second out.
The first pitch to Shiraz Mumtaz is low for ball 1. Mumtaz 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts today. 1-0 pitch swung on, grounded up towards second. Throw on to first. So a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Goggin and the Walpole Rebels. And after 7 innings, we are all tied up at 1 here at Parsons Field. This is Brookline High School Baseball on BATV.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Use Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Back at Parsons Field for the top of the 8th. It's a 1-1 ball game between Brookline and Walpole. And Irvin Kantarzik on the mound for his first full inning of work. He ended up retiring Cam Hanley pretty quickly to end the top of the 7th. And the first batter he'll face will be Matt Bender. The number 5 hitter has gotten on every time so far he's been up to the plate. Yet he doesn't have an official at bat, interestingly enough, as he has 2 walks and he was hit by the pitch his first time up. One-0 is a strike on the outside. So for Bender, he's got to be a little upset that he's not facing Koenig anymore. That pitch bounces in. So it's 2-1 now.
Yeah, Koenig seemed content to put him on base each time Bender stepped to the plate, but it looks like Kantarzik is going to make him work a little bit.
2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. I kind of have a feeling that the Rebels are going to be content to just lay off and try and see what Kantarzik will pitch to them. It should be a little bit slower than what Koenig was throwing. This pitch is fouled back. And just because he's slower doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing. That could mean a good thing in terms of changing up the speeds, because Walpole is used to a certain speed at the plate, especially facing Koenig for what would have been their 4th time around. That pitch is outside. So the count is now full to Matt Bender. This is actually the first time that Bender has even seen 2 strikes against him. Here's a ground ball. This one will die next to the line. Throw to first won't be in time. Kantarzik didn't get to the pitch in enough time, and neither did Cordner at third. So a leadoff single, and Bender is on base yet again.
It's one of those kind of swinging bunts that dies right in front of the plate, and nobody's able to get to it in time to make that throw down to first.
So now Rick Ordway will step to the plate. The catcher is 1 for 3. A single back in the 4th inning. Squares to bunt, nicely placed. Cordner will go over and make the throw to first. Everyone ran away from second base, so Bender considered rounding going to third, but wisely stuck right there. So a nice first pitch bunt by Ordway.
Yeah, though nobody was covering second, they were covering third, and if Bender tried to keep going, they were ready to try to gun him down over there at third base.
So 1 out, and a runner on second for the designated hitter, Rob Rabioli. It's a ground ball back up towards the pitcher. Quick flip from second. Gets the out at first. Runner will hold at third. Surprisingly, there was a little bit of commotion at first base as it looked like Kantarzik was going to make the play. Instead, Bender will opt to stay at third. So now, runner on third with 2 down.
Yeah, that ended up being a pretty close play at first base with a slow roller coming out to Moss, the second baseman, but able to beat the runner by a step.
Now a conference at the mound as they go over what the approach should be here, with Connor Moriarty stepping up to the plate. Moriarty is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He's ended the inning twice. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter for Moriarty, probably smartly enough. Brendan Chiasson will step up to the plate as he will take over for Moriarty. That pitch got away from the plate. It's going to be no throw on a passed ball at the plate. So the runner scores on the very first pitch of that pinch hit at bat. It's rare to see a wild pitch on the inside to the batter, as normally that's pretty easy to catch. But it seemed like Kantarzik and Spielvogel had some miscommunication. Next pitch bounces up to the plate, and it's 2-0.
Well, tough break there for the Warriors. And it's put the Rebels back in the lead in this ball game.
That pitch is low. 3-0 now. So both of the runs scored by Walpole are the kinds of runs that you don't want to give up when you're on defense. The 3-0 is down low, and it's a 4-pitch walk to the pinch hitter. So now runner on first with 2 down. But the first run for Walpole was scored on the error at shortstop by Mumtaz. And then the second go-ahead run was scored on the passed ball at the plate. And there's a strike, this time to Tom Farrow, the number 9 hitter.
Important now for Kantarzik to put that pass ball behind him and focus on the hitters at the plate now.
Kantarzik, quick move off the rubber, forces Chason to come back to first. One is outside, and it's 2-1 now. There's a strike looking on the outside half of the plate. Count evens at 2 right now. And now the count is full. 3-2 on the pitch on the outside. And again, Kantarzik will look off the runner at first. Now quickly set. Runner goes on the 3-2, and it's low anyway. It's ball 4. So now first and second with 2 down, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup with Mike Rando. Back-to-back walks for Kantarzik.
First time today that the Warriors have given up back-to-back walks. First time they've had 2 walks in an inning.
And now we're going to get a pinch runner at second base, as they're going to take Chason off of second. And running in to replace him looks like it's number 6, Colin Murray. And that it is. That pitch is outside for ball 1. Murray, typically a center infielder, playing either second or short. Might be just a pinch run replacement, as he's the insurance run at second. The 2-0. That one is low, and it's 3-0. Kantarzik is struggling to find the strike zone here in the top of the 8th. And there's a walk, a 4-pitch walk to the top of the lineup with Mike Rando. And now the bases are loaded for Bob Ivets. And I believe we're going to see a pitching change here, as Kantarzik struggles to get through 1 full inning here. And the ball is going to be indeed taken away from him. So with the bases loaded and 2 down, Brookline finds itself in a little bit of a funk. We'll see who comes in to take over for the pitcher for Kantarzik right after this. It's 2-1 Walpole. You're watching BA TV.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. You have to have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now spit! Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
So ready to pick things up here in the top of the 8th. Brookline in a bit of a situation with the bases loaded and 2 down. We have a new pitcher on the mound. Coming from behind the plate, it's Nate Spielvogel. So he's taking over on the mound. First pitch, over the plate for a strike. And now taking over behind the plate, it's Weebler coming off the bench. That pitch is low. It gets away from Weebler. The runner will score. So a wild pitch in the dirt to the backstop scores another run. And now it is 3-1 in favor of Walpole.
So the Rebels plating 3 runs today without an RBI. A run coming in on an error, a passed ball, and a wild pitch. So taking advantage of some of Brookline's defensive lapses.
Now ground ball to second. No one is covering first. And the runner is out. As the first baseman was going over to make the play, Levine. No one ended up going to first, and Spielvogel got there just in time. But 2 runs score in the inning, and those are 2 big runs. As now we head to the bottom of the 8th, it is 3-1 in favor of Walpole.
Live with a human for a while, and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
And bottom of the 8th coming up now. Leadoff hitter, top of the lineup for Brookline. It's going to be Ben Knopp. And the first pitch is a line shot right back up the middle. Taken by the shortstop. Quick throw to first, and Adams gets the out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Gogan. That's going to work for him as he's going to try and throw the complete game against Brookline. So now David Crane will step up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He has a walk and a hit by pitch, which he scored Brookline's only run so far. Now the 0-1. Line drive into center. A nice diving stop by Rando. Maybe trapped it, but the home plate umpire is going to call him out. Either way, that was a nice slide.
Yeah, nice play there by Rando. And just like that, there's 2 down in the bottom of the 8th.
Now the umpires are going to confer, and they are going to call him out. There was a little bit of unsurety, and I'm sure Brookline, initiated the challenge there because it did look like it was a trap. The ball might have hit the ground, and Rando snared it. But it will be out number 2. So now Zach Moss steps up to the plate. He'll take a strike outside. Moss is 0 for 3 with a strikeout back in the first. Strike 2 outside. Very quick inning here by Gauguin. He's not going to mess around. And he's got to be feeling good with those 2 insurance runs. Swing and a miss on a changeup. And Gauguin has a very quick inning, no more than just a few minutes. Brookline goes down in order, 1, 2, 3. We'll head to the 9th. Brookline down 3-1.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet.
$50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me. What's going on? Dinner.
Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates.
Plates?
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
Top of the 9th at Parsons Field. 3-1 in favor of Walpole. And it's going to be Nate Spielvogel going for his first full inning of work. He took over in the top of the 8th for Irvin Kantarzik. And the first batter he'll face this inning is John Adams, the senior co-captain. First pitch is low over the plate, and it's 1-0. Quick set and the throw. Line drive towards center. Long chase for Crane, but he's there to get it, and there's one away. Walpole hasn't been getting a lot of pop on their hits today, but that one certainly had some carry. And if that dropped in, that would have been a surefire double for Adams.
As it is, there have been no extra base hits for either side this entire ball game. It has been a pitcher's duel for sure.
Now here's Cam Hanley. He is 0 for 4. Takes a strike there. He's flown out every time he's come up to the plate. He flew out to left in the second. Flew out technically to the shortstop back in the 4th. Flew out to right in the 5th. And flew out to the third baseman in the 7th. 0-2 against him. Reaches for that one. Just manages to get a piece and it hits the netting. So the count will stay at 0-2.
And as you mentioned, Hanley was the big offensive hero when these teams met last week in an 11-1 win for the Rebels. So shutting down Hanley today has certainly been a big part of why the Warriors have been able to stay in this ball game.
That pitch is low, and it's 1-2. Razor thin on the strike zone. Brookline was ready for it to be called a third strike as the infield moved in. That one's just outside. Now 2-2. Spielvogel is set. And the pitch. Reaching. This one's going to go on a line and hit the house behind home plate. The trees kind of dampen the hit, but it still hit the roof.
Yeah, these trees still bare early on in the spring, and ball got right through.
Swing and a miss on a low pitch. Handled and thrown over to first. And there are 2 down. So now that'll bring up Matt Bender to the plate. This will be his 5th time up, but he is only 1 for 1. But he has been on base every time up so far. I'll take a strike there over the heart of the plate. 0-2 or 0-1. Bounces up, and it is 1-1. So as you were saying, as I look around here, a lot of bare trees. I did see some flowering trees earlier, which was nice. It was kind of a surprise. Because even though it is mid-April at this point, it's been such a long winter, you almost don't expect trees to have foliage yet. This one is skied up high behind the plate. And that one will hit the roof of the same house that got hit on the last at-bat. So now the count is 2-2. That one's too far ahead of the plate. Bender gave it a thought, but didn't go with it. So now it's a full count with 2 down. Another high pop-up behind the plate. Giving chase was Cordner at third, but it will go towards the batting cage behind the plate. And every ball that's been hit foul has to be returned back to the umpire to be used, because there's only so few balls available here. And it seems like almost every at-bat has had some kind of foul pop-up. That one's lined right back behind the plate. Spielvogel actually wasn't happy with that ball, so he threw it back, got a new one. Spielvogel has been doing pretty well so far this inning. Getting 2 quick outs. Now has a full count against Bender. And this pitch is popped up towards short. Mumtaz gets under it, makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. So a nice 1-2-3 inning for Spielvogel. Keeps the score at 3-1 in favor of Walpole. It'll all come down to the bottom of the 9th, which is coming up next on BATV.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Bottom of the 9th here at Parsons Field. Brookline down 3-1. Down to their final 3 outs. This one's been close all the way through. It's going to be Mike Gauguin up for the 9th inning. First pitch to Kantarzik. He flies out to second, so 1 pitch, 1 out. Kantarzik actually re-entered the game last half inning as the catcher, so he led off here, batting from the 4th spot. And now it'll be the pitcher, Nate Spielvogel. And here's the pitch. Takes a strike over the plate. And there's strike 2 looking. Swung on and fouled back. Spielvogel will keep it at 0-2. And now the 0-2. Line drive over to second, picked up off the ground. And the throw to first is in time by Ivets to get Spielvogel at first. And the Warriors are down to their final out. And it'll come down to Scott Cordner, the third baseman. It's a ground ball to short, bobbled, and it won't be a play. So a nice attempt by the shortstop, Adams. He wasn't able to get it up cleanly, so the Warriors have a heartbeat here with 2 down in the 9th. It's going to be A.J. Levine stepping up to the plate. And believe it or not, well, how would you call that, Brad? Was that a single or an error?
That was a tough one. I might give that an error, although generally like to be generous with the scoring at this level, but I think you probably have to call that an error. That was a bobble.
That pitch is outside. So that would keep Brookline at 2 hits so far in this game. I mean, it was close. That was a play that Adams could have made at short, but he just dropped it. Swing and a miss on a pitch upstairs, and it's 1-1. Actually, now it is 1-2, so Brookline down to their final strike. Yet again. Swing and a miss on a changeup in front of the plate, and that'll do it here. As Mike Gauguin gets the complete game. He gave up 1 run on 2 hits, struck out a bunch, and it's going to be a 3-1 win for the Rebels, but the Warriors kept it awfully close.
They sure did. You know, a pitcher's duel throughout, certainly a contrast to the last meeting between these two teams, but ultimately the Rebels capitalized on a couple of defensive miscues by the Warriors and coming away with a 3-1 victory.
So that'll do it here from Parsons Field. We'll be back in just a second to wrap things up. 3-1 in favor of Walpole.
Warriors fall today here at Parsons Field to the Walpole Rebels in a Bay State Conference matchup in a game that, Nick, was really a pitcher's duel all afternoon.
Exactly. It was pretty good for Brookline. They were actually able to keep it fairly close. Polar opposite from the first time that these two played, keeping it 3-1. But Sam Koenig, you have to wonder, maybe he could have stayed in a little bit longer. Through 6 2/3, he gave up 1 run, none earned, on 6 hits. That's the kind of production you want to see if you're Brookline.
Yeah, great outing for Koenig, and it shows you what kind of a day it was. 4 runs scored today. Walpole's 3 runs came on an error, a wild pitch, and a passed ball, and Brookline's run came on an RBI groundout. So certainly it was the pitchers in command today keeping the bats cool down. So the final score, once again here from Parsons Field, the Walpole Rebels defeat the Brookline Warriors 3-1. 4th straight win for the Rebels. Warriors have now dropped 6 in a row. So for Nick Bovey, I'm Brad Kasnett saying so long from Parsons Field.